Good morning and welcome to the Matrix Fitness Live workout. My name is Gleed. I'm going to take you for a workout this morning which is all focused on conditioning. Now we've got a few tough exercises today, so it's going to be a good workout. There's going to be a bit of jumping involved, but I will always give you options to make different variations of the exercises so that you can get the workout that you would like to do as well. You're going to need a little bit of space for this today because we are going to be moving around a little bit. And I've got a mat nearby me where we're going to be using that for our second round of exercises as well. First thing we're going to do is going to get you warmed up, and then we'll take you through 3 rounds of exercises, and each round we will do 2 circuits of the exercises, so that way then you can adapt the exercises to push your fitness if you'd like to a little bit more. So first off, what we're going to do is going to get you into a warm-up, and I'm just going to hit the start on my timer, and we'll be doing 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds recovery. So the first thing we're going to do is just start to warm up the arms just by reaching across your body. So just getting a little stretch to the shoulders and around the chest areas. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put you into a little bit of rotation. So just bringing your hands around about shoulder height, pivoting off the feet, just moving the feet from side to side, just so you can get a little bit of movement for the spine, hips, and the ankles as well. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take you into a little bit of a squat position as well. So just lowering your hips down towards your heels, just to draw some blood into the thigh muscles so we can start to get you ready. We've got quite a few squats, especially early on in the exercises, so we're going to get you into this really deep position. So just start to think about lowering your hips a little bit lower down every single time you bring your hips down towards your heels now. See if you can get down as low as you feel comfortable. Sometimes looking straight ahead of you is a good way to keep your back straight. Okay, let's take a step back lunge this time. So I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see it's a large step, lower the back knee down towards the floor, step your feet together, and we alternate this from one side to the other. I'm going to use my arms just to help counterbalance my body weight. And with this large range of movement, just keeping control. Now the weather looks like it's going to be a bad day today. I'm down in the Cotswolds and we've got a lot of rain. But at the same time, this is where home workouts really come into their own as well. We've had a lot of nice weather lately, but the British summer is definitely back with us, where we've got a lot of rain today as well. Okay, let's start to get your heart rates up a little bit more. I want you to imagine you've got a skipping rope. I just want you to imagine jumping the rope, getting off the floor, just pushing through the legs. We have got a few options where you can go into some jumping movements. So I want to get the calves ready for the workout that they could go through if you'd like to as well. Let's start to get those jumps from side to side. Okay, now start to scissor the legs, one forwards, one backwards. Hopefully you should start to feel like the heart rates are coming up a little bit. Well, let's add the arms into this as well, take it into a jumping jack. So arms just coming out towards the sides, around about shoulder height. Now, in order to get your heart rates up a little bit more, let's start to take your arms all the way up above the head, and take the legs a little wide if you feel comfortable. It's a nice progression just to start to challenge your heart rates a little bit higher, and push your fitness a little bit as well. Okay, just loosen the body up here. Take me into a fighting position. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I've got my hand up by my cheeks. And I'm going to jab, cross, and jab. Now we're going to jump 180 degrees. Now the hand that is out in front of you is going to be your jab, then the cross the body, then the jab again. Now let's just start to speed these up. Throw these punches as you start to pivot your feet. And what we're looking to do here is just to really prepare some of the upper body work for some of the movement that we're going to be doing as well. So start to get your shoulders, your chest and your back muscles all ready by throwing these punches with a nice sharp movement, still pivoting off your feet as well. The last couple each side, we've got some nice upper body workouts today as well. So think about some of these movements to really prepare you for those. Let's take you into a knee driver position. So what we're going to do is pivot the feet over to one side. Hands reach high, and you're going to drive your knee up and back down again 3 times, then pivot over to the opposite side, and again, drive your knee up and down 3 times. Now, as you start to do this each time, these 3 big range of movement, you're going to be starting to prepare your hips for the workout that's going to be coming up, but also Start to get your heart rate to keep high so we can really be ready for our first exercises, where we've got some options of going into some jumping jacks, then down into a deep squat position. So let's really get you ready for doing some of these big ranges of movement. The second exercise we're going to do is a prisoner squat. This is where you do a squat with your hands up to the side of your head, as if you were in a prisoner position. Okay, just loosen yourself up a little bit. So let's have a look at those first couple of exercises. Jumping jack into a squat. Jumping jack. Now, if you don't feel like you're comfortable doing the jumping jack, you can do a half jack, squat, and then a half jack to the opposite side. So you can take the impact out totally. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds recovery, and I will show you the second exercise just before we go into that. Let's start on 3, 2, 1. Jump jack into a squat for me. Now this dynamic movement is going to be great for getting your heart rate up, and it's one of my favorite exercises, just literally to challenge the body. It's not one that's going to be great for tone, just about getting your heart rates up. And what this will do is, at the beginning of the workout, this will get your calorie burn to be a little bit higher, because as we start to go into other exercises, you'll maintain a higher heart rate, which means improving your fitness. And it also means that you'll burn more calories throughout the rest of the workout as well. Okay, just 5 seconds to go. Keep these coming. Big jumping jack, and into that squat, and relax there. Okay, 180-degree prisoner squat. So I've turned sideways. Hands go to the outside of my head. I do a squat, and I push off, rotating 180 degrees, and then over to the opposite side of the same squat again. Let's get moving. So jump from one side to the other. As you're doing that squat. Now your goal here is to try and keep your back straight all the time. If you don't want to do the jump, then quite simply, you can just be doing your squat, holding your hands to the side of your head. And what this starts to do is it stops you from leaning forwards. So it's a nice way to work on your squat technique. Last 10 seconds to go. Push from side to side. And relax there, just lift your body up. Okay, now I'm going to come down to the floor. So into a kneeling position, I'm going to place my hands onto the floor, and I'm going to come up into a press-up position. But for this exercise, I'm going to pike my hips up. So head down, hips up, and I'm going to lower my head in between my two hands. Let's get moving. So this is a shoulder press. Great exercise for working through the shoulders and through the triceps as well. So think about lowering your head down towards the floor, and then be strong as you push yourself away. Deep range of movement, be strong as you push away. Yeah, big push down, and then push yourself back out of that position. We've got just over 5 seconds to go. And relax there. Okay, bring back up to a standing position. So just give those arms a shake. They can work quite hard when they're down in that position. So if you need to rest at any time, that's absolutely fine. Let's have a look at that jumping jack to squat again. So once out, and then down into your squat, and then we'll repeat that. Let's get moving. 45 seconds. Time for your conditioning all at the same time. Good work, good work. Keep that speed going. Keep that tempo. Remember, the regression is just that half squat and that half jack if you wanted to. So you've got options to make the exercises easier if you need to. Last 5 seconds to go. Keep bringing that speed and relax there. Okay, 180-degree prisoner squat. Remember the hands to the side of the head. Once you've done that squat, you push and rotate in midair. That's your goal, okay? Remember, alternatives can be done just by moving around or just keeping it on the spot. Push off the floor if you can, explosive power, then over to the opposite side. You're going to push your heart rates up still. That's what we're looking for. Keep that strong squat And you'll notice it's hard to push off the floor, especially without using your arms. So keep your elbows back if you can. Really start to challenge to pure the legs straight as you push off the floor. Last 5 seconds. Keep the speed going. Try not to slow down. And relax there. Okay, let's take it down to the floor for those shoulder press-ups. Now remember, try to keep your back straight, head lowers down between your hands. Think about where your hands are. Head comes in between your hands and then push away again. Let's get going. Bum up high, head down low. And then try to lower your head as close to the floor as you feel comfortable to do. You can always try your hands a little bit wider. You start to feel the muscles working in slightly different places. If you've not done many of these before, it can be quite a challenging exercise. And if you're not comfortable on your wrists, give them a little shake every few seconds. Maybe try 3 repetitions, and then just ease out any tension in the joint. And relax there. Okay. Now the next exercise we're going to do is called a bear crawl. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally crawl forwards and backwards. So we're just going to back up a little bit, just so I've got a little bit of space. I've got my mat as a target out in front of me, and it's not as far as travel as you feel. You can always just do a smaller movement. Now, opposite arm and opposite leg. You can touch the target, and then opposite arm and opposite leg comes back again. Your goal is to keep your back straight, eyes looking down towards where your hands are. Push through the hands as you move backwards. Keeping your back as straight as possible. Imagine a tray of drinks on your back. Try not to spill any. To keep yourself as level as possible. It's a thankless task, but keep it going. And relax there. Okay, the next exercise I'm going to grab my mat for. So this is a glute exercise. So I'm going to get you to lie down on your back. So head onto the floor, spine pressed against the floor. And I'm going to dig my heels into the floor. Extend up through your hips. Then walk your heels out, out, in, in. So you just keep moving your heels, but keep thinking about pressing your hips up high. I think this is one of the best exercises to do to maintain good neutral spine, and to also really think about keeping those hips up extended. You're doing a great job here. Keep pressing those hips high. Keep strong. If your thoughts start to wander at any time, just come back to the fact that can you push your hips any higher? Last 10 seconds to go. I'm going to turn you over onto your front. Keep those hips high. Keep pressing them up towards the ceiling. And relax there. Let's turn you over onto your front. Next exercise we're going to do is a plank with a tap. So you've got 2 options here. You can do a plank on your hands like I'm going to do, or you can rest on your elbows if you'd like to as well. Now from this position, what we're going to do, bring one hand up off the floor, tap your shoulder, place it back down into the floor, and alternate to each side. So minimal shift from side to side. Tap the shoulder, place the hand back down, swapping from side to side, keeping control. Be strong as you push through your hands. Now try not to be shifting your weight from side to side. One of the best ways to do this is think about squeezing your quads and your butt cheeks really tight. And if you're doing that, it does make the exercise harder. That's never a bad thing. It's going to make you work harder for your body and really be strong to help keep the control. Last 5 seconds to go. Keep a steady movement and rest there. Okay, let's do those exercises again. So the first one is a bear crawl. So I'm going to keep the mat down now. I'm just going to travel forwards and backwards. Opposite arm and opposite leg move at the same time. Starting in 3, 2, knees off the floor. Alternate your hand and arm. Then push back through your hands as you reverse. Now again, you don't have to travel far. If you've only got the space just to maybe put the mat down, you can quite easily just be moving from side to side without having to travel too far forwards. So So you've always got options. However, if you have got a little bit of space, you might as well use it. Just keep pushing, be strong through this movement. Keeping your back as straight as possible. Last 4, 3, 2, and relax there. Let's get to line out onto your backs. We'll give those arms a little bit of a breather before they go into the planks again. So the glute bridge, head and shoulders and spine all flat into the floor. Dig your heels in, and then from this position, push your hips up, and then walk your legs out, out, in. So keep control. Remember to keep your focus on pushing your hips up high. So you're in a really extended hip position. Now, one of the best reasons why we're moving your legs is it starts to get the calves and the hamstrings to react rather than just being pushed up and down through the hips. It's starting to make the hips be challenged with this stability as well. So keep those hips pressed high. Just keep walking your heels. Head, shoulders, and spine all rested onto the floor. Just keep pressing the hips up high. Last 5 seconds to come. Then we'll take into those plank exercises. Okay, let's turn you over. Now, for this exercise, we're going to really start to push your heart rates up a little bit more. So enjoy a little bit of recovery for your heart rate, and let's just carry on working through the core and through the upper body as well. So either on your elbows or on your hands, let's tap the shoulders. Plank position, tap, replace the hand to the floor, and alternate from side to side. Minimal shift from side to side, that's your goal. Thinking about squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight. It makes the exercise a little harder, that's not a bad thing. Keep that control. You're doing a great job. You're coming down, just over 5 seconds to go. Keep your eyes looking down towards your hands. Take your time as you take your hand off the floor and relax there. Okay, let's get rid of the mat. The next exercise we've got is something called a gorilla charge. So I'm going to create a little bit of space, a bit like we did the bear crawl. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reach your arms out in front of you, and you jump your feet in towards your hands. Once you get to the end, we simply turn around and back the same way. Turn around at the end, and literally hands around in front of you, you're jumping your feet to the base of your hands. As you start to do this, you're in a really deep squat position, and you're working through your shoulders as you transfer your weight forwards and backwards. The quicker you move, the harder it's going to be. But if you work slowly, you're still going to get the same condition. You just won't challenge your fitness as much. The last few here. Let's keep it coming. Last 5 seconds to go. Okay, relax there, okay. Woo. The tough ones, especially staying in that deep squat position. So next exercise is speed skater. Creating a little bit of space here. You're going to push in a dynamic way from side to side. Great for working through the outer thighs now. Give the arms a little bit of a breather. So let's get pushing. As you're doing this from side to side, try and travel as far as you feel comfortable. The speed of your movement is what's going to push your heart rate. But this side-to-side movement, your foot can be tapping inside your foot, or the foot can be off the floor. You've got options here. Keep this strong, quick movement if you can. You're just over halfway. Trying to keep the fitness up here. You'll feel like that heart rate is climbing, especially after those gorillas, speed skaters. And we've got a nice exercise for the shoulders and the legs coming up. It's called a burpee. Okay, so just shake out your body. So then we take it down to the floor. So mountain climber, then a burpee. Let's do this. So press up position, 4 mountain climbers. Then jump your feet in and jump up high. Then back into that press up position, 4 mountain climbers. Then jump your feet in. Let's get moving. Jump up and back down. 4 mountain climbers. Then take yourself into that burpee. It's an explosive movement. Now you've got options. If you don't want to do the jumping burpee, let me show you options. Step in, stand up, bring yourself back down to the floor and step out. Still the 4 mountain climbers in the middle. Mountain climbers where you're bringing your knees in towards your chest. Taking yourself into those jumps if you can. Got just 10 seconds left to go. 4 mountain climbers. And then jumping those legs in and out. Okay, relax there. Okay, let's get ready for the gorilla charge. So let's just back up this position, creating a little bit of space to move in. Starting in 5 seconds. Gorilla charge, arms reach forwards, jump your feet towards the base of your hands. Let's get moving. It's a tough exercise on the body, really good one for conditioning, legs and arms at the same time. Now the quicker you move, it's going to push your fitness as well, mainly because you're in such a low, tight, coiled position, you can really start to challenge your blood flowing around your body. If this is a comfortable one for you, you can always go into a bear pull as an alternative. But it's a really great way of developing that deep range of movement into your knees. Although I appreciate some of you might not want to be doing that. Okay, let's bring you up. Speed skaters. This big jump from side to side. Starting to really challenge my fitness here. I'm looking forward to doing this 3 times today. Okay, let's reach over to the side. Push from side to side. Keep pushing off the floor. Big dynamic movement. Let's get those heart rates back up. Feel what it's nice to get off those arms and to push your legs in an extended position. So keep that speed up. Remember, the foot can tap inside, or you can hold the foot off the floor. You pick the intensity you want to work with. Good, you've got 15 seconds to go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're coming towards the last exercise. Try and push your fitness a little bit more. This will give you the calorie burn and also the conditioning that you're looking for. Okay, relax there. Now the last exercise, there's 4 mountain climbers and then the burpee. Starting in 10 seconds, let's get you in position. Mountain climbers hold a strong plank position. Once you're in that extended position, drive the knees underneath your chest. Once you've done 4, we then jump the feet in and up. Let's get going. Jump out. 4 mountain climbers. Jump your feet in, push yourself high. Keep your eyes looking down towards the floor, and then when you go into that burpee, looking straight ahead. So arms back down to the floor when you're on the floor. Now remember, you can always walk your feet in and out instead of jumping them and doing that burpee. So you've got the options to keep this as a low impact activity, but at the same time, it will still challenge big joint range as well. Just 5 seconds. Come on, let's get this last one done. Burpee to finish. And relax there. Great job, well done. Well, certainly my heart rate feels like it's up. It is as well. Great job, everybody. Just let your heart rates come back down. Just start to stretch through your arms, just while the heart rates do lower. Let's take a chest stretch while we're here as well. So bring your hands behind you. Link them together, lift your chin and chest up tall, taking your hands a little further away from the lower back. Now stretch through the back muscles. We're going to bring them arms out in front of you. Imagine you're hugging a big beach ball, and if you blew into that ball, your arms would move a little wider. So think about separating your elbows, bringing your hands further away from the center of your chest, creating that bigger space. You should feel your back starting to stretch. Excellent. Shake it out a little bit for me. I'm going to grab the mat. And what we're going to do here is going to take you down to the floor to do a few yoga moves to help tension be released throughout the legs. So first off, I'm going to take a stretch from my hips. So I'm going to place my hands underneath my shoulders. I'm going to keep my knees on the floor to begin with, and I'm going to lower hips towards the floor. Eyes look up towards the ceiling. Roll my shoulder blades back and down. This is called uphill. With the toes tucked underneath the body, press through your hands, pike your hips up high, and hold this position. Now just start to pedal your heels, bringing your feet probably a little bit closer. This starts to stretch out through the calves. It also starts to stretch the back and the shoulder muscles that we've just been working on as well. Now let's come back into your up dog, but this time without the knees in contact with the floor. So I'm now starting to feel a bigger stretch through the front of my hips as I'm holding my knees off the floor. And again, let's go back to downward facing dog. So eyes towards your toes, press through your hands, lifting your hips higher and your heels starting to lower towards the floor. We're not pedaling the heels this time, we're just holding that position. Now lift one foot up and swing the foot over to your hand. Now as you've quite got there, think about just shuffling that foot forward. You can move with your hand. Think about reaching your arm high and pushing your back heel away so we start to lengthen this stretch. Now from here, bring the hand down, push back to down facing dog, over to the opposite side. And again, if your foot hasn't quite got there, adjust it. See what you can do to physically move that foot into position. Reach the hand high, push the back heel away. And then again, bring the hand down inside the foot. Step back to down facing dog again. And now this time, I'm going to rest your knees onto the floor. And I'm just going to get you to lower your hips towards your heels. And just think about creeping your fingertips forwards so you get a big stretch through your back. Okay, coming up to a standing position, we're going to place your hands close towards your feet. Heels come down to the floor and roll up through the spine, each vertebrae at a time, and just shake out the body. Let's take into a standing quadricep stretch. So take one foot into the palm of your hand, bring your knees together, and extend up through your body. Think about pushing that foot into your hand, and think about extending the hip a little further. You get a nice stretch to the front of the thigh. Okay, let's swap it over to the opposite side. Again, think about pushing the hip forwards just slightly, just so we start to extend through. Well done. Okay, slowly release that. Just loosen up your body. Thank you very much for joining me for today's Matrix live workout. We'll be back today at 12 o'clock and also 5 o'clock this evening, or alternatively next week again at 7:45 in the morning, every Tuesday and Thursday as well. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.